I'm Dan Mitchell, and the studio's called Proud Creative.
And what is your background?
Well, I studied graphic design in Art College in Camberwell in London, and so I moved here from Wales and then stayed after I went to Art College and worked in lots of different areas within design up until setting up my own studio 5 years ago.
And so why did you stay in London?
Because I think I sort of fell in love with it, really. You know, it's kind of, I suppose I didn't know where else I would go unless I went to another big capital city, let's say. It seemed like the best place to be, really, to do what I wanted to do. So stayed here.
So why did you set up your own company?
I think I'd always wanted to. My father is an interior designer and he has his own company, and so I kind of grew up with that, you know, well, what I thought at the time was freedom, what I now realise is working ridiculously hard and trying to make ends meet. But it's, I suppose it was always an aspiration to work for myself, and you know, I think over the years you kind of gain experience with other people and realise the things that you want to do slightly differently when you work for yourself. So yeah, I think I probably would have set up a little bit earlier than I did. If I wasn't creative director at another company. So
I think I didn't ask that. How long have you been in London?
I've been in London 15 years. I've been out of college 15 years, so I've been in London 18 years.
So was the college you went to, wouldn't there have been some Welsh colleges?
No, well there are. I did Art Foundation, which is basically a kind of, you know, broad brush introduction to art, and I did that in Cardiff. And then there isn't a graphic design, or there wasn't at the time, a graphic design degree in Cardiff, but I knew I wanted to do graphic design. So I looked at London and Leeds actually, and then I got into the college in London, so that was it, you know.
Also, what are you involved in at the moment?
With work?
Yeah.
We're always involved in lots of different type of projects. So running a TV channel, we do that on a fairly regular basis. At the moment we're doing a kind of conceptual piece for Icon magazine. We're doing a branding project for a jewellers, a sort of bespoke diamond jewellers. We work with Getty Images, and so we do a lot of work for them, making digital microsites and other printed elements.
And what do you like best about the job?
That's a good question. I don't know really. I suppose I know what I don't like, which is the kind of doing it in the end. I suppose I think the nice bit is coming up with the ideas and getting excited about the possibilities of what it might be, and then, you know, you kind of get to a middle stage usually in the project, and then your kind of enthusiasm dips a little bit, and then, you know, it rises again towards the end of the project. But it's always the first bit is the exciting bit of the thinking, I think, and coming up with good ideas.
So how do you go about getting that idea?
Personally, I do quite a lot of research. I suppose experience plays, a lot to do with it. Depending on what the project is, you know, research that particular area of business or that particular market, whoever you're sort of aiming it towards. See what else is in that arena, I suppose, and then you've got the kind of starting points of trying to do something that will make that person look different from what's already out there, and better, hopefully, than what's already out there. So yeah.
So great. So we can just go through that for your piece.
Yeah.
Could you say the name of it again?
Yeah, it's called Two-Faced, and it's a bit. I suppose it's a joke really, because the idea was that I wanted to create something a lot of what I enjoy to look at and enjoy thinking about is kind of like getting it down to the very basic form, its most basic form in a way. And so I thought the idea that, you know, the best of London can be the kind of worst in France in a way, you know, that the French language isn't necessarily, you know, I think British people are notoriously bad at language, or at speed at trying, you know, they assume everybody's going to speak English. So what I wanted to do is kind of play on that and break it down into the kind of most basic, the first thing that you learn, I guess, as a language, which is the numbers. So then take each one of those numbers and give it a relative form, you know, so the number 1 has 1 edge, number 2, which is where the joke is, doesn't have any edges because it doesn't, and number 3 is a triangle, and 4 is a square, and so on. And so within that, each one is kind of as basic as it can be, you know, as pure as it can be, really. So it's like a primary colour and a primary shape, and just really simple bold typography. So I tried to just keep it almost not very much design in a way, you know, but just express that idea as simply as possible. That was the plan. Well, I suppose for me, the play on words is that the one, you know, the 2 doesn't have any faces in its form, and so the idea that best in London is worst in Paris. So it's like the joke is that it's the most basic it can be, I suppose.
I think it's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst. The worst in Paris is the best in London.
And I work at Airside, which is a multidisciplinary design studio in London, but originally from Paris. And I've been here for like 6 years or something, and I personally do mainly illustration, but at Airside we do a bit of everything, like, you know, illustration, animation, and performances, exhibitions and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of self-initiated stuff. That's probably why we did this project.
Okay. Why did you pick this discipline that you chose?
Well,
throughout your career, like from the start.
Well,
what made you pick illustration?
Well, I think it's kind of I never really chose it. Like I've been drawing since I was a kid, so like I think I never stopped. Like, you know, when like most of the kids, they stop when they go into primary school or something. Every kid draw when they're small, like, most of them. And I just never stopped because my mum was a painter. So when I turned like 19, 20, I decided, well, try to make a living out of it. It wasn't possible in Paris, so I came here.
Okay. And, how would you explain your style and work?
Well, it's quite here, it's all around me. But it's really, I try to do things that are really bold, really pared down. Like that, the idea of like, once you can draw technically is an interesting thing. It's about finding the essence of things. So trying to draw as few lines as possible to show something. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do in my work. Pare things down and play with negative space a lot.
Nice. Why did you want to be involved in Best of London? Why did you choose Best of London? What's right for you? Like, what made you attracted to the whole concept?
Well, I think it's Frédéric who contacted Airside actually, probably about a year ago or something. I think they heard of us, like Agnès knew us and she knew the kind of work we did. I think she really liked the fact that we were a design studio, but we did lots of t-shirts, lots of shop items, prints and everything. So they actually came to Airside, not to me personally. And we met her, we met Frédéric. He told us about the project, which was actually a really nice project. And yeah, it just sounded fun, and plus the fact that I was French, I think kind of, it made me want to do it and kind of, you know, give back to Paris a bit. And yeah, I like the idea.
Okay, how does London inspire you, and how does it come through in your work, if it does?
Yeah, no, I think it really does actually. I think it's, the city is amazing. Actually, we were talking about it 5 minutes earlier. The city, I mean, London is an amazing city. It's really exciting, and it's a city where you can actually experiment with things, you can have a play, and you know, it's not so corporate, especially what we do at Airside. So, you know, it's just going out, or going to exhibitions, just meeting new people all the time, and also seeing this, there's amazing graphic design here and illustration. That's really inspiring, I think. So then you have to push the boundaries, otherwise you go far, you're behind, I think.
Okay. Would you say that there's a message that is quite in all your work that you could see through it if you had like a portfolio?
A message.
Is there a message that you like to keep there, like just going along?
I don't think of it as a message. I don't do things with a message as such. I guess if there is one, it would be things don't need to be complicated to be beautiful, and it can be really simple. But other than that, no. It's more like instinctive, I'm a bit compulsive, so I draw all the time. So yeah, just you can have fun and work and live off it. That's that's what everyone should aim for.
Okay, and would you like to tell us about your final piece of work that you chose for Versa London? What it's called and why you decided to?
Yeah, I called it. It's actually quite different from what I do usually, but I called it Paper World originally. I remember when the brief came in, and it was this brief of you can be free, you can do whatever you want, and it's something that represents London. And I didn't take it literally as I'm going to do something about London, but I just thought, well, that's one opportunity to experiment with something I've always wanted to experiment with. And at this time, I was drawing lots of animals, and I had this friend who brought me an origami set, and I was slightly obsessed with it. And I just thought, oh, okay, there is something in there, and that might be. I want to pare things down and try to make animals fit together and just create a really abstract piece that would go nicely into a T-shirt. You don't need to see what it represents, but if you look closer, it's more like an exercise. Try to make maybe 25 animals fit together. So it's just almost a style exercise or an experimentation. I think that's what London is about. So that's why I did that. Okay. I think it's really nice. It's a really nice project, and it's one of these small projects that there should be more of in the industry. There is quite a lot of it in London, I think. We get given this brief really often to do small exhibitions, just one piece of work for, just people curating a group exhibition, or, pick me up at Somerset House where you can just do a screen print. I just think it's these really nice little projects that kind of, may push me to do what I do, and I think everyone should have fun and do more of it, especially in Paris. It's missing that bit a lot, so I hope it will be shown and it will show people that, we can have fun and do nice things. That's it.
Really?
My name is Alice Wilby. I'm based in London, and I'm the founder of an online magazine called futurefrock.com. I studied photography in London and New York, and shot for a bit, and then became a stylist. And I've been working in fashion and music and advertising for the last 5 years. And then recently decided to pursue a more ethical line.
Oh, okay, yeah, perfect. And what is it that your magazine represents, and what is it about?
Our magazine is about showcasing the most sort of fashion-forward and directional of ethical and sustainable fashion, and creating a platform where we can sort of shoot these designers. And also about creating a space for designers and photographers and artists and writers and other creatives to explore all the issues around sustainability and fair trade and ethics.
Okay, because it's not your usual fair trade, it's fair trade that looks extremely different to what anyone would normally assume is fair trade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about sort of challenging the preconceptions of fair trade, and still even now we have people who just, you know, in passing jokingly refer to it as the sort of the Hessian, the hemp sack.
Yeah,
kind
but
of
that's
look,
exactly what you've sort of defied, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what we're striving to,
Yeah.
to prove them wrong.
Okay, perfect. And why did you want to be involved in the Best of London?
We feel that the aims of the project Best of London parallel nicely with our ethos at Future Frock.
Perfect.
And we are particularly keen on, as we said before, showcasing very directional, organic and sustainable and fair trade, which is exactly what the Best of London project is doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we're really inspired by the marriage of the art with the fashion. And I think art's a really nice vehicle for communicating these ethical ideas
Definitely,
and ethos to people in a really engaging way, and I think that's the best way to kind of get around a lot of these issues, is by just engaging people with their sense of humour. And
you're both you and the project itself are challenging sort of the same idea, aren't they?
Exactly. And our strapline at Future Frock is empowerment dressing, and the idea that while you're dressing to empower yourself, you can also be empowering the people at the other end of the production line.
Perfect. Yeah.
So this is something that's very key with fair trade and organic produce.
Okay, so do you feel you're dressed to represent your website today?
Absolutely. This is a spring-summer jumpsuit by one of our favourite designers.
Okay.
They are not only organic but also fair trade. And the jewellery is either vintage or fairly traded and made in artisan workshops. So, yes.
And you look great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Hi, I'm Agnes. I'm the director from Haiti 73. We are an agency of artist representation, marketing and curation. I was commissioned by OMP to curate 5 artists to work on a range of t-shirts, which the concept is 1 artist, 1 t-shirt, 1 poster. This is Frederic de Bengal.
Hello, I'm Frederic de Bengal. I'm the artistic, creative director of OMPE. And we are a new brand, Paris-based, and exclusively we work exclusively on fair trade cotton or organic cotton.
And so far OMP, this is their 3rd collection. And once they've commissioned that curation for 5 artists, they really wanted to do something different about the fair trade and organic product. They wanted to show a product who actually, okay, it's fair trade, okay, it's organic, but at the end of the day, it's already trendy, it's also good for the soul, it's also good for everyone. It's beyond just the fashion. It's also a product who, when you buy it, when you purchase it, whether you are pro fair trade or not, you're actually doing an act of goodness. So we had to also really pick and choose artists who will be on the level, so people, when they buy the products, they don't feel like they are making a gesture of charity, but actually they really want that product, they really want to keep that product, because those products, at the end of the day, they are art pieces and they should be kept, and actually they should be framed and hanged on the wall, because all the artists that we've picked. We've got the Airside Studio, we've got Proud Creative, we've got Blaise Simon, we've got Hassan Ajaj, and we've got Jaime Gili. And all of these are artists of studio design who makes the visual in London, who have influenced London, who have an impact on the art world. And really, they make London what London is now. And this is something that also we wanted to promote because we think it's fair. It shouldn't always be like the biggest artist from the biggest gallery with a lot of a big machine behind them. It should also be kind of middle range artists but actually have a massive impact, who've got awards, who's got big followers, and also who are the shakers and the movers of London. So in a nutshell, the best of London, which is going to be shown in Paris on the 4th of October during Fashion Week with an art exhibition, and the film is going to be shown also in Paris at that time, is a representation of what we thought is very representative of London right now, the movers and the shakers. But also we want to introduce that to Paris and the world, and those t-shirts are a piece of art. Yeah, it's not a canvas, it's a t-shirt, it's a living piece. And we just hope that people are going to be able to cherish it, and they're going to understand the message behind it and the motivation, because the artists have been left very free of creating whatever they wanted to do, and they really enjoyed all the process, and they were very cooperative as well, which was a big help for us because it was the first time we were doing that. And hopefully in the long term as well, this is gonna just add one drop in the sea of the fair trade and the way people perceive the fair trade. But you know, if we can make that little improvement, we're really glad, and it's been really fun as well to produce it. I think, yeah.
I can say another thing that we would like to combine. Fashion and art, and fashion in ethical fashion and art,
fashion, yeah.
And art. And,
in a contemporary, it has to be modern, in a very modern way, and not, you know, and kind of break away from all the preconception of what could be fair trade and what could be organic. And also educate people a little bit, and educate people with art is the best way. This is why we've got 5 different artists, so they can speak and touch 5 different kind of audience, and hopefully people will really embrace what we are doing and support us.
The best of London, the best of London, the best of London.